Hello and welcome to the Spicy Oranges, where we are currently talking about how inanely hot it has been. And apparently, not everyone's air conditioning is up to the task. But let me get my stream stuff going here. We should be all set. Yeah, here we go. Working. We're all set. We're going good. All right. I live near a pool, and
Humble brag.
yeah, I don't own a pool. I live near a pool that is owned by the public. So I guess I do own a pool. It's partial. It's like partially my pool. It's like 1/5000th my pool, right?
Can
And
you
so
pee in it? Because then it's your pool.
did I? No. No, could I? Maybe. I don't know if it has that kind of water that changes colors when you pee in it. We've been there every day for the past hot time, which is a long time, which some people call summer. And the pool started at, you know, 60 degrees and in June, and I was like, yes, like cold pool. That's my jam. I got in today, and the water was 80 degrees, maybe a little warmer. It was like you couldn't tell on the little thermometer. I was like, what? Like now I'm just hot in the water. Like I'm not. I want to get in the water to get cool, but instead I'm I don't know stewing. I stewed. I went and stewed today.
That still sounds better than sitting in this office right now.
Braised,
And
possibly.
Yeah,
basting.
yeah. Can I go brace in your local pool?
I mean, maybe it's like a sous vide. Like I'm kind of sous videing myself. I don't really have plastic on, but I do wear sunscreen. My kids love it, and they can't get enough of it. So whatever makes them happy, I guess. Is there such a thing as too much chlorine, like in your space? Or maybe not. I don't know. All right. Hey, Foxy Proxy. We're waiting for Dirk. I don't know where Dirk is. Dirk said he would be here. I hope Dirk is okay. I know that he went paddleboarding. He said he was gonna go paddleboarding today. So he's probably hot also. Um,
He might be burned.
well, there he is.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hold on one second. Did you go paddleboarding today, Dirk?
Yeah, I just went and took a swim.
Yeah. On a day like today, stand-up paddleboarding, I feel like would let me get
Get
as
into
close to the
water.
water without getting into it as I can on a day that it's 90 degrees and 80% humidity.
Friggin' annoying.
All right, I gotta find my downloads here because it's time to feature our art. Maybe not. Yeah, here we go. This one, oh, shit, it always does this. It turns it off while I talk. Get a look at Dagon Jin. Oh, Kyle, your mic is on whenever your music is
Yeah,
playing here.
thing was Netflix auto loaded.
This one came with a message about it being a character, which I feel like I want to read because it was pretty cool. Dagon Jin is a kobold of unsure origins. He's a burglar, not for any real reason. He just likes stealing and feeling evil. But he's so hilariously bad at it that people just let him take their stuff out of pity. He thinks he's the best thief in the world and is all powerful, when actually he's a tiny dumbass with a god complex. And I do think tiny dumbass with a god complex is fitting for Dungeons and Dragons in general. Not this group. Not
No.
not you guys.
Nobody in this group is a
No, it's not.
tiny god complex.
We're very tall.
Yeah. Yes, some of them. Some of you are tall. Two of you maybe, three. About
Tall.
50% of the group is tall. So tall-ish. Wait, how tall is Jenna?
What the fuck are we talking about, guys?
You specifically.
Actually, we have Foxy Proxy in chat right now. Foxy Proxy, was there anything else you'd like to say about our little kobold friend? I really like Diagon Jim. He's pretty swell. I really like his facial expressions. Okay. There'll be a delay. I'm sure Foxy will say something in a few minutes. Let's do our recap. Now that we have honored the art for the week, and there'll be more coming. Let's do recap. You all had some interesting adventures. Well, speaking of adventures, you found an adventurer's guild, did you not? That's about what.
Somebody did.
Here's what I recall you doing. You went to see the aesthetics, where you grilled a monk and got a little bit of information,
Oh,
and
that kind of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
How did he? How did he taste? I was gonna say, yeah.
Yep, delicious. Then you went from there to the you went from there to the Fort Magnus in the middle of town. But what you didn't know is that Fort Magnus has inside of it the Adventurers Guild. But you found it, of course you did, because there's drinking involved. So if there's one thing that spicy oranges are good at, it's drinking or finding drinking. So you did that. Um, Owen embarrassed a half orc, and then you spoke to a gnome woman. Do you remember her? No one remembers her.
I mean, my
She's
character literally doesn't.
she's quite nice. She's the head of the Adventurers Guild, and you signed up to join the Adventurers Guild. Owen paid your entrance fees, and now you have
Remember that.
all the benefits of being in the Adventurers Guild for the Empire, which is, pretty great. You think? Question mark. Don't actually know. Then you went to Chuckles' house, right? Where you spoke with Alvinius. You guys remember this ringing a bell? No, Zerwin wasn't there. Well, you did. And I don't actually remember if you learned anything interesting or not. Did you? Ezra, did you guys learn anything interesting in that conversation?
Um, he talked a little bit more about his abduction, but we already basically knew all of that. He also noted that he had noticed a change in the magic of the wild about a year ago. Uh, in particular, I can't remember if he told us this or if Bundo did, but the central location of the corruption seems to be the place where he was found by Glocta's family. The corruption's getting worse. Plants got sick, then small creatures. Now children are feeling tired when they shouldn't. Babies are being stillborn. Um, yeah. And then we kind of were gently pushed toward prodding the seedy underbelly of the city through Akgung, picking at the scabs of the city, at the scars and wounds underneath. Yep.
You've been drinking.
No.
You made a really important discovery, which was that Dirk is wearing underwear with Bundo's name on it. That might have been the most important thing. Also, Ezra passed out. Actually, Ezra fell into a coma. Not that anybody else knows that. Maybe. Who knows what happened to him when that was in there.
Yeah, Owen and I talked about it the next day. Owen was very gentle. I bet Owen's a lovely, gentle lover.
I don't bet that. I take that bet.
And the man single-handedly did 75% of the murdering of that dragon. He cast every spell he could think of to try to rouse me from my coma.
The real question is, how are we going to resolve this then? Is he a eunuch? He's a eunuch.
It's like playing with children, Zeke. No one even pays attention. And there it is. Well,
I thought you were telling me I was right about the eunuch thing.
it's
Oh,
Ezra.
drunken
Oh, it's
loser.
Ezra. It's Ezra.
Maybe
He
he's
brought it
not
up. He brought it up anyway.
maybe he's not a eunuch. Maybe he's a meanic.
That goes on the quote board.
No,
Maybe he's not a eunuch. He's a meanic.
Don't
Okay,
do
and
that.
then look. First of all, we could probably just stop now. That was everybody's money's worth for the night. Then we went into town, or you went into town,
Downtown.
and you saw Bundo Sitzpickler again, and you had a conversation with a very different seeming Bundo. No one commented on that. Like no one even blinked an eye when he was like totally different than the last time he spoke to you.
We all have to put on a mask, Bill.
Mm.
And then he went back to
Also,
the world.
when you find out you're wearing a man's underpants, you
We just
I'm always wearing a man's underpants. You want to talk
we
more about
we
that, Dirk?
are
we happen
you
to all see the Bundo underneath the mask.
underneath the pants?
And you know what was underneath?
It was
Just
Bundo's all the way down.
Yep, even more Bundo.
I'm gonna
We got to see the Bundo underneath the pants. Do you know it was underneath? Even more Bundo.
I'm
That's a
gonna
t-shirt.
I'm gonna needlepoint even more above the bundo on my underpants.
Okay. All right. Well, then, just as the session ended, you were in the Bard's Cobbler. It's crowded. There was a fanfare. And you guys remember
Quintus
what happened?
showed up. Quintus
Quintus?
Bato.
Yeah, Bato, yeah.
That's another real Star Warsy name, guys. I gotta try to break that cycle.
Mm.
Which one? Which one is he? Is he the
He
Dragonborn?
No, he's the mouth of the Emperor. He's, the tongue of Sauron.
All right, I gotta find Quintus and put him up here. There we go. You guys see Quintus? There he is.
It's like if Julius Caesar was in Mad Men.
It's a good looking mouth.
What? All right. Well,
No, I agree.
I'm gonna cut that short right now. All right. So this is the man that gets out of an armored carriage and surrounded by armed and armored guards. He Veilthorn. You guys remember Veilthorn, right?
What's his
Veilthorn.
mouth like?
What's what?
Nothing. Sorry, Veilthorn?
Yeah, Veilthorn comes out and gives an appropriate, I guess, like bow, and then like shows him in. Please, Quintus.
I give him an inappropriate bow.
You give who an inappropriate bow?
Sorry, I don't actually do that.
Good choice. Bato comes in with his guards. You're with Skip, and everybody, if you're interested, can look at Skip and see that he doesn't look super psyched to see Bato. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. In the main dining room, I want to show you there are some other people that you see. Well, I'll just describe them first. There is, you know how Veilthorn is an owlin, right? He's an owl person. Well, there's another owlin there who is enormous. Like he's just a massive, massive being. Probably, maybe only like 6'7", but looks like he weighs probably like 500 or 600 pounds. And he's sitting at a table, like chewing down this like leg of deer. And there's like a little gaggle of hangers on around him, and they're all kind of like drinking and laughing and chatting.
Is it this guy in the NPCs?
It is one of the guys in the NPCs, yeah.
Wait, is he eating this like an owl? Like, so he's swallowing it whole?
No, he's
Oh.
he's beaking off big chunks.
Is
and
he
swallowing
going to vomit this all back up later?
Yeah.
You'll,
Will there
you
be
can
pellets?
ask. You don't know because Zerwin has no idea what owlin physiology is like.
Zerwin, if you do an insight check, I'll back you up.
I don't know if I'm going to learn anything from insight.
Oh, I don't know how intelligence works.
Also, another person that you notice because they kind of stick out is there is a kitsune, which is like a fox creature wearing a hood and cloak, but you can see her face in the corner, and if anybody gets like too close to her table, she just kind of get like looks and they like back away or keep moving.
Is she the white fox?
She is indeed the white fox. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't recognize anyone, or like those are the people that really stand out, but you also don't recognize anyone else except for Bundo, who has moved to the bar, smoking a joint and flirting with the bartender.
Bundo's getting mad high.
Bundo's pretty high.
Okay.
Or, I don't know. He looks high.
Well, no wonder he was acting different. I don't.
Okay, so Bato walks by you all, and he like stops in the main room and has like a little mini conversation with Veilthorn, which you can't hear because it's across the room.
Did he say anything to Skip when he walked by us?
Doesn't seem to have seen Skip.
Is Skip like hiding behind us or
Yep,
anything?
Skip is definitely hiding behind Dirk. And
Skip, why are you hiding behind me? I say telepathically to him to be quiet.
Skip, you're gonna have to see him at some point. You might as well
why?
get it over with.
Why do I have to see him? I mean, I've seen him. I've already seen him. There he is. Look at him. That's him being Bato.
You're likely gonna he's gonna have to see you at some point, probably. You're likely gonna have some kind of interaction.
Is that your ex? Do you need to like resolve some stuff?
If you do the interaction now before he knows that you're here, you have control of the interaction.
Oh yeah, I could do it telepathically. What do you want me to say? I'll say on behalf of Skip.
You know, Dirk, it's a really bad idea to start like inserting your thoughts in other people's heads. Like someone's gonna attack you for that.
I'm just
Just put that out
offering.
there.
I'm just offering. I need
You should
somewhere to put
probably
my
not
thoughts.
do
I
that.
can't keep them in me all the time.
That's also against the law in some places. But you're right, Ezra. I should just. He's such a shitbag. All right. He straightens himself up and wipes his shirt off, cracks his neck, and walks over. Everyone can roll perception. And you can tell me what you got.
17.
13.
10.
23.
Jana's the only one to notice. The rest of you, Bato has a really good poker face. But Jana, you do register a surprise on Bato's face. Just the tiniest twitch of the left eye as he registers Skip's face. Bato does a salute. It's like a different kind of military salute that no one here has really seen before, but it's like a fist to the chest kind of salute. And Skip salutes him back, and then kind of waves him off. Bato also, actually, Dirk, you got enough to register this, and Jana, you did too. Bato's guards, all 6 of them, when they saw Skip, they looked pleased. They looked happy to see Skip. Bato, the rest of you look like Bato didn't, whatever, he doesn't bat an eye. They again, they exchange a few words which you can't hear because you guys are on the other side of the room. And then Skip kind of points in your direction, and Bato turns. He scans each of you for a second, and then turns back to Skip. They exchange a few more words, and then Bato motions, and they disappear up the stairs.
Where do they go?
Up the stairs to the next floor.
I was asking Jana.
Oh.
Looks like up the stairs.
Oh, I saw that much. It's in general.
Do you want me to try to follow them and listen?
No. Maybe. Maybe we'll just wait for Skip to come back.
Good idea. Maybe we'll just not.
All right, that's fine. Are you gonna start drinking or what?
It's 9 o'clock in the morning, but you could get a beer if you wanted. There's also breakfast, which is what a lot of people are doing.
I want breakfast.
You can have breakfast.
Is there something that's hand food but this big?
No. Breakfast here is like pancakes or bacon and eggs or sausages.
Not a
Sometimes there are
burrito.
no, sometimes there's oatmeal.
Oh, God. I get pancakes.
Yeah. Maple syrup is very good.
Oh, for crying out loud, I said bacon and eggs.
Great. Anybody else want to do anything while you're down here waiting for Skip?
I'll have a beer.
Oh, no surprise there.
Well, breakfast.
Okay. Two of 4 breaking their fast. Anything for you, Ezra?
We definitely had pancakes at Chuckles's
That's
like
true.
yeah.
an hour and a half ago.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm having breakfast.
Not police my pancake consumption.
You're right.
Please.
You're right. Dirk, this might be the first, but it certainly won't be the last, unless it is. You're right. I was wrong.
Mm. Mm.
Wait, Jana,
Mm.
did you just knit a summer squash only it's green? Yeah, you
Well,
did.
it's
Oh,
a
No,
please,
a
but it doesn't have any flippers yet.
It's a sickly goose.
It's a sex toy.
No, it is
No.
not.
Don't do that.
Not with yarn, it's not.
Touche. All right.
No thank.
Oh, the chat seems to think that Skip's gonna die, which is possible.
Gonna need a new guide.
It'd be a shame.
Ezra, should I go up and look at and try to listen?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Mhm.
I with a mouthful of pancakes, I go, what the fuck?
What do you want me to roll, Bill?
Right again. Ezra,
Well-
say I'm right again.
What are you gonna do first? You're gonna walk up the stairs, I suppose. You don't know where they went.
Sure, I'm just gonna walk up the stairs, sort of.
Hey, you
Okay.
should put on Galadus's hat before you go, though.
No. All right, fine. Put on Gellis's hat if you want to.
No.
Gellis isn't
Uh,
here, but that could probably be okay, actually.
No, Bato has never seen Jana before. It doesn't matter. She's an assassin. She can put on a disguise if she needs to.
You don't see anything that marks their presence on the second floor. There is a third floor. Or you can go around listening at doors or knocking on doors or housekeeping.
That ends badly.
I'll. There's no way to indicate which way they went.
I mean, A, you're not an expert tracker, and B, you're in a inn. There's
Right.
footprints everywhere.
I'll go up to the third floor.
Okay. You go up to the third floor and you immediately see at the end of the hallway 2 guards stationed outside a door. They look like legionnaires. I guess more like Praetorian Guard, to be fair.
I don't want to look at the map. Okay, I'm gonna go back down the stairs before they see me. And look for another stairs up like the back. Like a servant's stairs.
Hmm. There is another stairs that is from the kitchens,
Okay.
but it doesn't go into that room. It just goes to like the back end of the hallway.
Is it close enough for me to hear?
Yes, but you can't make out any words. You can just hear them talking.
So I'm on like the other side of a wall?
Yeah.
And there's not a door on this side?
There's only one door into the room. So like the stairway that you're at another hallway that comes as to a T to the first hallway you came to, and you're sort of on the back of that, and that room is that corner room. So you can hear through that wall that people are talking, but not really what they're saying. You could make out tone.
If I grab a glass from the kitchen, can I hear? If I put it against the wall?
You can try it. Now I'll let you roll perception.
Okay.
Zerwin, can you put Owlbear Rodeo up when you get a chance? No rush.
11.
11?
Mhm.
Yeah, so you ever seen the old Peanuts cartoon with the teacher, the old Charlie Brown cartoon with the teacher standing up in front of class and it's just a trumpet?
Mhm.
That's kind of what it sounds like. Yeah, not really
Which
sure what they're saying.
which map do you want up?
Just Journal Hall, because that's you can see where everybody is on the Bard's Cobbler.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Are there windows to the room where Skip is?
There is 2 windows, you think, based on the size and what it looks like from the outside.
Um, is there a window where I could get out and try to climb along the side of the building?
Not from here, because it's a stairwell that you came up.
Okay. Does the stairwell keep going up?
To the roof, it does not. You hear the door open, though.
Okay. What was the tone that I could hear? Even though I failed my perception check.
Conversational, maybe a little hushed, even.
Okay. Okay, so then I'll come back down and come back out.
All right. You return to the dining room where your friends are.
So I'm gonna look up the stairs as I'm coming down. Do I see like the Skip and the Legionnaires?
You just see Skip. Skip comes
Okay.
down. He comes back in and sits down with you guys. Well, that was something, I guess.
How'd
Were
it
they
go?
okay?
Well, I've been declared governor of the province.
Been there.
Apparently, Bato is here to make a declaration to the public. He's here to declare the region of Fermat, excuse me, which is the province that Junahal is in, is hereby under the command of the Emperor directly, under the auspice of making sure that the games run smoothly and are secure for the visiting Emperor. Apparently, my father was going to come, but obviously he's not going to make it now, so my brother is on the way. He'll be here in a couple of days. Bato has also brought with him the entirety of the 3rd Legion, which is still marching as he's ahead with the cavalry, but they'll be building a base.
For the games?
They'll be here for at least a month. When I say building a base, they can build a base in a day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like everything is totally legit then. It's not like martial law
It's
or anything.
exactly like martial law.
It's like martial law, you guys. Is that going to be weird? Should we be worried?
Well, is your role as governor going to affect your ability to be our guide while we're here?
I don't know what he wants from me. I think he just wanted to dump the responsibility off on a royal family member until my brother gets here. And if anything bad happens, it's now my fault, basically.
Hmm. Take it from me. Things being your fault is not that big of a deal.
He saddled you with a responsibility, and it's supposed to appear to have a certain level of grandeur,
That's
Hmm.
correct, yeah. That's exactly
and
right.
yet at the same time means that you're distracted and you need to make sure that things go well.
Uh, we need to have a word someplace where we're not going to be overheard.
By the fox lady.
What? No.
You think Gelidus could create that little hut?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he can't do it in the pub. because it takes up physical space, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, why not?
Because there's other people here.
I like a pub.
Maybe
I like a pub hut.
maybe in the courtyard nearby.
Well, if he's the governor, I'm sure his friend owns this bar. He could get us a room.
I no longer want to burden Veilthorn with the things that are going to be happening. He's my friend, and I don't know where this is going. Bato has requisitioned a couple of houses in the center of town. I don't want to go there right now either.
And we know that the inn and the tavern are all booked up for the games also. I think probably an outdoor public place that may not be very occupied, like the courtyard outside, that might work.
Because my brother is coming, there is going to be thousands more people in this area. Probably by tonight, they'll start rolling in, and they won't stop. People will come from all over to see the Emperor, especially this far away from the capital where people never see the Emperor. It's going to be a nightmare. And there's other news, but we need to talk someplace else.
Should we go back to Chuckle's house?
Let's go for a walk in one of the fields.
Ugh. Can I bring my beer?
No.
You still haven't finished your beer? You've had it for like 48 seconds.
It's my third beer, Dirk.
Oh. Well, hurry up.
What time do we have to be at the opening ceremony?
I thought it was like, was it 10 a.m.?
Got
No.
about an hour. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, walk sounds great.
So if you look at
Before we leave, I grab a stick of butter, put it in my pocket.
Yep. Gonna need that for the fight.
Okay. It is hot out, so it's gonna melt in your pocket.
Great.
Okay. Yep. All right. All right. So if you look at
Well,
the,
I put it in my bag.
all right, slightly better. Make sure I'm gonna cover some things in your bag and butter.
I don't have shit in my bag.
You walk north, and there's a gate. You can see there's like a road that goes out of town, in between like Stratetto, right? Just north of there, there's a little gate. You walk north out that road past the suburbs or whatever those like outlying houses are.
Why do you guys think that they call this part of town Stratetto? What does that mean, do you think? Chip?
Yep.
Skip, you mean?
Skip?
Who the fuck
No, I
is
was talking to
Chip?
Dirk. Chip?
Oh, yeah. No, they call me that.
Skip?
Uh,
Why do they
they
call
call it.
this the Stratetto? What does that mean?
It's an old family name.
Oh. Thanks.
He continues, I lost my version of this map somewhere and all the mayhem that is my computer. I have to go back and find it. You walk past those houses and out into those farm fields that you can see. There's woods on one side and fields on the other. You walk
Up here, you mean?
a little further. Yeah, right there. Yep. Well, a little further, like right here in between. There's like a hedgerow. You walk down this hedgerow, and you get to this convergence of these three fields where you can see a long way in every direction. And he stops. All right. The real question I had was, why was Bato coming here in the first place? Which was because my father wanted to declare this into governorship. But then the next question is, why would my father have wanted to do that? It's not unheard of for an emperor to do so, and there are perfectly normal reasons why it might happen. For example, to increase the security of the games. Except, I knew my father really well, and he didn't give a shit about the security of the games. So why did he? I managed to drag it out of Bato. It seems that my father discovered. You're gonna love this. It seems that my father discovered that magic was slowly being corrupted
Oh, I love
in
that.
Joram.
Keep going. I'm close.
And and the source of the corruption is somewhere near Drunel Hall.
Okay.
Now that my father is dead, my brother will be on the way. And he didn't say this, but Bato is terrified.
Bato is terrified.
Yes, that's the reason I was
Of
able to manipulate him.
he's terrified of your brother being here.
Or
Yes.
the magic thing.
No, I don't think Bato really gives a shit about the magic thing. I think he's
Oh,
terrified that my brother will come here and start a war.
With who?
The Wild or the Fey Kingdoms, or both. Eventually, Bato is going to have to tell my brother why he was sent here, which means then my brother will know that magic is being corrupted and that this is near the source. And my brother's not as sharp as my father was. Hmm. He's as smart as my father was, but he's not as wise as my father was. So he'll deduce all the proper things, but he won't have the temperance to keep from immediately acting in violence.
so kid, why don't you talk to your brother?
Yeah, sure, yeah, yeah. I haven't spoken to my brother in 15 years or more.
Okay.
He's a fucking asshole.
So
I
what?
mean,
What could we use to? Can we? Is he manipulatable?
My
Can
brother?
we manipulate him?
He's the manipulator, not the manipulatee. I'm not going to say it's impossible. He is vain and arrogant, and somehow he's always wanted more power than he has.
Sounds like a dragon I used to know.
Very much like a dragon, only smaller.
so he's vain if we just told him that not going to war looks really good on him.
Just means that we have another task, which is to prevent a war.
I just joined an adventure guild. All right. Prevent a war. It's gonna be a pirate or something.
How is? What's your brother gonna do? Like to figure out what's corrupting the magic, or is he just gonna come out and be pissed that it's being corrupted and assume it's one of them?
The latter. He'll look. He's not irrational. He's not completely irrational. But he will look for convenient truths or fabricate them if he needs to.
But like hypothetically, if we explain to this person that the magic's being drained, and so maybe this would be a bad time to start a war because like people might need to band together to fight a greater evil. Is that the kind of thing that he might be receptive to, or is he just kind of like blinders on this kind of stuff?
No, for my brother, the Empire is an all-powerful juggernaut, and on top of that, we use less magic in our armies than almost everyone else. Certainly less than the Fey Kingdoms. If magic is being corrupted, it's going to hurt them a lot more than it's going to hurt us. And I'd like to also remind you that a child disappeared yesterday. He's going to look at that and say, yet another example of the Fae fucking with our people. These are my citizens. I have a duty to protect them.
It seems a bit like elite, but okay. So what do you think that we should do there, Skip?
I don't know. I've been thinking about this for 25 minutes. I haven't got a solid plan yet. I think it's going to get even a little more complicated than I've already described it because my brother is bringing his son. which
Oh, I bet
means
you he's a joy.
I actually have never met him, so I don't know. But I do know that my brother will be on his most douchebaggerous, horse. Uh,
Because of his son?
yes, absolutely. My brother always has to prove to everyone else in the family how much of a man he is at all
Have you
times.
considered that maybe your brother, upon becoming a father, has like discovered some new stuff about humanity and or whatever it is that he works for you, um, and maybe has a different perspective on life and won't be on the horse?
No, I
Oh,
haven't considered that.
seems like a real open-minded dude, Skip.
If I'm wrong, then we don't have a problem. It's the happiest wrong I'll ever have had.
Skip, are you next in line?
So no,
Where's his son now next in line?
his son's now next in line. Unless my brother dies before his son is of age, in which case I will be made into a regent, right? There's a word for it too. It's like I can't remember what it's called. There's a
The
word for it.
flux. Yeah, the flux capacitor.
He will become your ward.
Yes, I'll be ruling in his stead until he comes of age.
All right, to the Hippodrome.
Yeah, we should be able to make the opening ceremonies. Ah, the Hippodrome. You make your way through town. Everyone is out. You could steal a building right now, and it doesn't seem like anyone would notice. Um, Children are laughing and running around and jumping, and um, there's like noisemakers, and there's music, and there's drums somewhere. The closer you get to the Hippodrome, the more sort of like wild it becomes. It becomes very densely packed once you get to the wall of the city, and getting through that gate is going to be a problem. That eastern gate. It's pretty jammed right now, even though both doors are wide open. You can wait your turn. The crowd is not unhappy. They seem friendly. People are laughing and smiling. There is a lot of cheering and, food and booze. The day is, turned into something pretty beautiful. It's warm but not too hot. There's a slight breeze coming out of the north or the south. Um, there's everyone seems excited. It's that palpable energy in the air when you're on a communal precipice of something that's supposed to be joyful. Um, Waiting, as it turns out, isn't the worst, but it is going to take you a little while to get through. You hear people talking a lot about who they expect to win, who their favorites are, who they hope to see from previous years compete again. Um, some people talk about Chuckles and how great he was 4 years ago. Um, the locals all have their, favorites. You also start to notice that there are more Fae and more, Fae-like creatures than you saw yesterday, even. You see, you know, corvid people, you see fox people, you see rabbit people, you see bear people, you see um, a slew of different types of animals, animal people that all have names that most of you don't know because you haven't experienced them before. And you see also um, Well, for instance, you see a giant blue-skinned man with tusks and horns. Um, you see some like a bunch of little like short-ish red-skinned dudes that are hanging out together, and you see some goblins. You see some kobolds. It's a crazy eclectic mix. Um, I need Jenna to make a perception check, and I need Zerwin to make a perception check.
23.
Heck yeah.
Zerwin?
Sorry, I was muted. I had a 13. Me and Jenna rolled the exact same ones we had on the last perception check.
Jenna, some small hand is trying to get Zerwin's money pouch off his belt. And Zerwin does not notice.
I'm gonna grab the small hand.
Okay. It's one of the red-skinned short people, and you grab the small hand, and like these like really big eyes like look up at you with like this like kind of like really scared face. Ah, I'm I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just
Just go away.
okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Who is that?
Do you let him go?
Yeah.
He takes 2 steps back and then he goes ah! And like this like big fang, like sharp fangy teeth come out, and like his like face gets all really wide. Sort of like that Bilbo scene from the Fellowship.
Have I noticed this at all?
Nope.
I didn't notice any of that.
Actually, when he made the weird noise, you definitely noticed that. Listen, there's a lot of people around. It's noisy. It's crazy. Like people are bumping and jostling. The only thing you heard was like a weird, like it sounded like a weird noise behind you. That was a different kind of noise. But by the time you turn around, you just see Jenna, kind of like
Got it.
Don't worry about it. Watch out for those red people.
What
um,
red people?
you do finally make it to the hippodrome itself. You should move the Albert Rodeo map, Zerwin, down to the hippodrome.
Yeah, sorry. Just a second. Full screen's up.
The hippodrome is filled to capacity, and at the open far end, there are hundreds of people smushed trying to get a view. Like no one's being crushed to death, but they're all like jostling and you know um, several hundred at least. The roads are jammed. Everywhere is jammed as people are trying to like get around and do stuff. There are easily 6 or 7 thousand spectators right here, maybe 10,000. Um, which is you would guess 2 or 3 times the population of the city normally or the village normally. First, you manage to like get through, and then when you get to like the door, Skip is like, "Okay, now I can take over." And he talks to one of the guards, and you're all escorted in, and you're given a seat in like the equivalent of like a skybox, basically, up on this side, like right in like the middle, on the upper deck up here. There's like a balcony, and there's like people to bring you. There's like servants who offer to bring you, water and food. Um, there's like a shaded like canvas thing that goes over your head. It's very very nice. And one of the servants says, "Governor, I'm glad you're here. Please take a seat." And Skip doesn't eye roll, but is like clearly displeased with his lot in life. the first thing you see actually that happens, there's a little bit of a quiet, not quiet time, but like there's that time where nothing is happening in the hippodrome itself. And the first thing you notice is that there is a parade that starts. Um, a single file line of people starts to emerge from the back of the hippodrome walking towards the front. You see Alvinius. I'm going to use the pointer. You guys aren't actually there. This is where Alvinius is. He's on this like balcony with Galacta. The two of them are. Um, the two of
Well,
them
where
are.
are we?
You guys are over here. Can you see my highlighter?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, that's where you guys are. Alvinius and Galacta are here, and the parade starts from back here and starts walking towards the middle. Like
For our visual watchers, it starts up toward the upper right-hand corner. It's not showing up on the stream, I don't think.
oh yeah, Zeron probably has to refresh it when he gets back. The first person in the parade is very striking. You've never seen anyone like her. It does seem to be clearly female. Um, you know, maybe like the face is humanoid-ish, but you can't actually make out all the details of the face from where you are. It looks from where you are like a woman in her 50s or 60s with green hair and like a gown of leaves. But then as she walks down the middle of the hippodrome, you start to make out more of the details. She does, in fact, have strands of green hair, but she also has leaves seemingly growing out of her and vines growing out of her. And she walks slowly and purposefully and doesn't look up at the crowd, but looks directly at Alvinius. In her hands, she carries, and I want to make sure I can describe this properly. In her hands, she is carrying a crown of woven wood, dark wood, twisted with thin strands of steel and set with iron spikes. In the place of a jewel, there is a massive acorn sitting against a half circle of wood and a half circle of steel. Behind her walks a golden-haired elven warrior. Skip leans over and says, "That's Zadarel, the first champion of the tournament."
Is she a dryad?
She is a fey creature of. She's actually a queen in the Fey Kingdoms. When she competed here, she was a princess. And to be honest with you, I'm not certain what kind of manner of Fey she is. She's a very powerful caster.
Very striking.
She is also very old and probably approaching the end of her life. Despite Faye living a very long time, you got to understand this is the 33rd games, and they only happen once every 4 years. The elf behind her is the second champion. Um, his name is Elisar Venelis. I have a picture of him too. Would you like to see it?
Mm.
Elisar Venelis is almost disturbingly everything that elves should be. Golden-haired, blue-eyed, perfect-skinned, fine-boned, confident, ageless. It's really obnoxious. He walks purposefully, but not arrogantly. He seems to be very respectful and reverent. You have no idea how old he is, except you know he was the champion of the second game. So it's been at least 100+ years, right? How many years is that? 32 times 4. 128 years, is that correct? I'm not so good at the math.
Yeah, you got it.
His armor is polished immaculately. He's not walking with a sword in his hand, and he doesn't have arrows on his back, but he does have a sword in his sheath here. And he is, unlike the woman walking in front of him, he is looking up at the crowd. He's not smiling, but he's not frowning either. He's just sort of impassionately gazing at the thousands of people watching. LSR Venelis is won the second games, and he is from another. Well, actually, you might have heard of this. He's from a different plane. You guys know what that means. Not everyone here does, but he makes it back to visit every 4 years. They're both extremely famous. Um, these two have been back every games since the beginning. You look behind them, and there aren't another 31 people. There's only about 15. Actually, less than that. There's about 12 people behind them. You assume a lot of them have been human and have just aged out and died, or maybe they live too far away to come, or maybe they've been killed since, or they don't make it for whatever reason. You do see, however, the last person in line is familiar. Who is it? Who is it? Who knows who it is?
Le Chuckles.
It is Chuckles. That's correct. Chuckles is, instead of wearing his like lumberjack outfit that he wears at home, he's wearing his battle armor, which you did notice on a stand at home. It's a simple armor, but it's well crafted and well maintained, and it has runes on the pauldrons and on the backs of the gauntlets. He's also got his battle axe, the one that he and Zerwin bonded over. Um, and unlike pretty much everyone else in this line, Chuckles looks super happy to be here. He's like smiling and like pointing at people, like, ha ha, there's a Roberts over there, and like waving, and like he has like he keeps reaching into his pocket and like throwing things, and it looks like caltrops, and you're like, that's really disturbing. But then when you get close enough, you realize it's little maple candies that he's like wrapped up in these like black paper packages, and he's like throwing these maple candies into the crowd, and like people are like, kids are like diving for him and like yelling, and he's like laughing and pointing. It's a very different energy from the front of the line to the end of the line. You see a series of other champions that walk through. um, Only two of them are human that you can tell. The rest are various other species, some of which you are unfamiliar with and some of which you are familiar with. The one thing of note that will probably interest Gelidus is that there are no Kender here, and the one thing that would probably interest Zerwin is that there are no dwarves in this line. Pause to give everyone a chance to digest this and / ask questions of Skip if they have any, while the parade processions by.
I'm just curious about the Fae person. But I already asked my question of if she was a dryad, so I don't have anything else.
Azaterel is her name. That's Azaterel. I'll put it up on the NPCs.
You said that Elazar is from a different plane. Do you know which one?
I do not know. I'm sure somebody here does. I just never bothered to learn. I've never spoken to him. I've never met him. All right. You see Alvinius. Again, just to iterate, he's at the the bottom of the U that is this thing, right? Down here. He's standing and there's like this huge balcony. Also, right smack in the middle of the arena area, I should have described this before. There is a massive hand that is holding it's a statue, excuse me, carved of, some sort of hard stone that comes out of the local quarries, equivalent of like a granite. But it's really beautifully done, and it's holding this giant, like possibly brass or copper, hard to tell from here, bowl. And in that bowl, you can see that there's water and then a whole bunch of oil that is unlit. Um, so you suspect there might be a lighting of this massive, massive torch at some point. Alvinius, let's see.
Hey, hey, Skip.
Yeah.
When did the kids start getting kidnapped?
I have no idea. It's been
About
forever, as
100,
far as I know.
Yeah,
about
it's been
128
happening for
years, maybe.
it's been happening for as long as they have history, so hundreds of years.
This is before the game started.
Yeah.
So I should say that the tournament happened before it became official. This is the 33rd official tournament, but the idea of this tournament happened for hundreds of years before that. So before the tournament, I don't know, but before the official tournament, absolutely 100% yes. There's Alvinius. Um, just to remind you of what he looks like. He's a good-looking dude. Um, he stands up in front of the crowd, and despite being like relatively soft-spoken most of the time, you suspect that something is amplifying his voice because when he speaks, it is very clear. He stands forth and he has his simple green cloak on, just like in that picture, only his hood is down, and he holds out his arms. Citizens of the Empire, subjects of the Fey Kingdoms, denizens of the Wild, welcome to the 33rd Joram Three Realms Tournament. And the crowd roars. And, the Hippodrome itself has some seats available that look like all along the top row. They could probably fit another 500 people to 1,000 people, but it's like all the wealthy people aren't here yet, or aren't at least at the opening ceremonies. But the mass of people, the thousands of people, just explode when he says that. He gives them a second to celebrate, and then he holds up his hands and he sort of waves them down. This year, we pay homage to our late emperor, Lucius Cornelius Publio, and we will do our somber best to make him proud one last time before he goes to meet the gods. And the crowd falls totally silent. In recognition of his long years of service to the Empire and its peoples, the tournament this year will be dedicated to him. The pool of winnings has increased by 500,000 gold, thanks to the Emperor's family, to be distributed proportionally across all contestants based on their performance. In addition, the champion of each class will be given the title Lucian, which they will hold for a year, and which will grant them access to the royal court in Puergos. Lastly, the new Three Realms champion will be memorialized with a statue here in the Hippodrome, right next to the statue to be erected of our late emperor. And you see now that there's a spot marked off next to the giant hand torch where it looks like another statue will go. Friends, Joram awaits the word of the glories won here over the next 2 weeks. But you have the opportunity, the gift of being able to see them won firsthand. So bring your laurels, bring your cheers, your jeers, your screams of triumph and tribulation. Bring your families and friends, your cousins and neighbors. Citizens, subjects, denizens, this is your time, your tournament, your history being written even as you watch. You have waited 4 long years, and finally, now your wait ends. Let the tournament begin. And as soon as he finishes that last word, the place goes bonkers. There's like some sort of explosion in the back that is like well-timed pyrotechnics. Um, people are throwing things, they're jumping. It is, it is a real stadium roar. And with that, after the roars like kind of reach a fever pitch, Alvinius reaches out his arm and casts some sort of possibly small spell, and a thin ribbon of flame lances from his hand towards the massive statue torch. But the second it leaves his hand, it grows and grows and grows to a massive, massive fireball.
Up, 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 up.
It gets so big that it singes the eyebrows of the people sitting in the front row. And there's a couple of panicked screams. When it hits the statue, there's like a huge billowing wave of flame, and then, you know, a large but otherwise normal torch is lit. Uh, Everyone can roll perception. Ezra, you get advantage.
Well, my first roll was critical success, so I'll save the second roll.
I got a 22.
I got a
20.
22. Zerwin got a 22.
Well, yeah. I have +3 perception. So
Nice. What'd you get, Ezra, for your higher one?
The total was 26. It was a critical success.
Oh, Ezra critted. Okay. Dirk, Jana, anyone else get above
24.
24?
20.
20. All right. Literally everyone notices this. Uh, Alvinius, when he cast that spell, the second it transformed from like a bolt of fire to like a terrifyingly large fireball, was surprised and a little scared.
Did you guys notice that?
Yeah. Hey, you looked a little scared.
he's not sitting with us,
No, he's not. He's
right?
on the
Yeah,
other.
he's
Yes.
over. He's on the other side. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
he's
that was. I don't think that was his doing. Or if it was, he didn't control it the right way.
yeah. Wonder where that came from.
Ezra, since you rolled a critical success, there was some sort of wild magic spike right when he cast.
So that, I have an eye for this kind of thing, being a sorcerer, and to me that looked like a wild magic surge, or a spike of magic that was unexpected. That may be the first evidence that we are seeing of the change in the magic, the corruption in the magic here.
You think it's like being drained, but it's unpredictable?
The corruption might be similar to certain sorcerers who their magic comes from a sort of wild and chaotic energy. So it may be that it's essentially adding chaos to the magic rather than just siphoning it away. We know that the source of the chaos is here and it's spreading elsewhere, not that magic is being siphoned away.
Could it have been someone else manipulating his spell? Could it have
Possibly.
been a person?
We should
Got,
we
it's
should all at
possible.
once all this is over, we should go back to that field and start casting spells and just see what happens.
Sure.
Once it calms down a little bit more, Alvinius steps back, and another person steps forward who you don't recognize, and announces that this year, round one, or the first event of the first day, will be the grappling and unarmed combat first round.
That's you, Zerwin.
The brackets are being posted right now in the competitors area, and all competitors in that who have entered in that section should report to that area now.
All right, Big Z,
Okay, I head down there.
go get him.
Zerwin, the competitors area is it's actually really nice. There's like 2 different gyms. It doesn't seem to be separated by gender, which is what you were first expecting, but rather just like whichever one you prefer to go to. Also, to be clear, you're not sure what gender some of these creatures are, but there are a lot of different types of creatures here. You see your name, and you see a series of weird scribbles. Oh, where is it? I didn't put it out here. Hold on. You are matched up with someone whose name is apparently a series of weird scribbles, and you're not sure what that means.
Okay. I say out loud, I'm not sure what that means.
There are some tournament officials nearby. One of them notices your distress and says, "Oh, yes. Well, he can't really write, so, and nor can his brother. So that's their signature, I guess. Um, yeah.
All right.
They're over there though. He points. Yours is the one on the left.
Jesus, look at the size of them. How
Yeah,
tall are they?
probably close to 7 feet.
Okay.
They're clearly brothers of some sort.
So I look at the official. I'm like, am I fighting or am I wrestling both of them?
No, no, no. The one on the left.
Oh,
The one on the right drew someone else.
all right. Look at him. He's so cute.
That's Modro and Muzvu.
Okay.
Modro Muzvu. Modro is the one that you'll be fighting first.
Great.
You are the second match of the day. The first match of the day, I thought I had these guys out already. Like, I must have accidentally closed them. The first match of the day sees a, like, I'm just gonna put their pictures up. There's like a rhinoceros guy, and then some sort of human, some sort of thin-looking human man. This guy. He's out in the middle, and this, he's probably about your height, actually, Zerwin. He's a short guy, not super tall. Um, very, maybe a little bit taller than you, a couple inches maybe, but he's, kind of very calmly, head shaved but has the knot in the back, um, wearing exactly what he's wearing there, and he's walks out to the middle of the arena and bows at everyone in the crowd, and then bows at the front. The rhino guy doesn't seem to have any fucks to give, and he sort of just like walks out and immediately starts like trundling towards this guy. Um, it looks like he's going to be able to grab him before the guy's done bowing and not paying attention, which you would imagine to be bad. But right at the last minute, this other guy slips under the rhino's grasp, and he launches a kick out against the rhino's knee, which has no effect. He launches another one out against the rhino's chest and is visibly thrown backwards. Um, it doesn't look like it's going to go well. This rhino is just so much bigger and so much more powerful. It looks like this guy isn't generating enough power to actually hurt him. And the rhino guy's swinging and not hitting him, but eventually there's going to be, you throw enough darts at a dartboard. In this case, it's only going to take one dart to land. And just as if it looks like one of the rhino punches is going to land, this guy, who hasn't made a single sound yet, makes some sort of sound with his mouth that sounds almost like a it sounds almost like a bird call mixed with like a thunderbolt, and it echoes out around the hippodrome, and he does that as he swings his fist and connects with the rhino's jaw and absolutely floors him in one shot. um, just drops him like a sack of potatoes, a boneless heap, and
Damn!
that's the end of the fight. Have you ever seen Snatch, actually? You know the
Yeah.
scene where Brad Pitt's pikey guy nails the gorgeous George? It's that scene. And you're like, oh, that was actually kind of terrifying. He might, I guess he was just playing with him before that, or maybe he didn't feel like it was fair for him to use this little voice power on him or something. But whatever it was, when it did land, it landed hard.
So is the official still standing next to me?
No, you had to go out to watch, like into a different
Oh,
area. But there are officials everywhere. You can ask a different official question if you want.
I would love to. I don't know what the fucking rules are.
Oh, right. There's a like older gentleman, kind of portly, sitting on a stool, making sure that no one's going through that isn't supposed to be there. Well, no weapons besides your hands and fists and feet and body parts.
Okay. And it's just until somebody is knocked out.
Yes. Yep.
So is it? Do I need to keep it non-lethal?
Oh, we have healers here.
Make sure
They'll
that
take
doesn't
care of it.
happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see now that there's already people rushing out to drag this other guy away. Um, you can also win by submission if you are big on grappling.
Okay. So outside of game, I don't understand how that would work. As far as like if would I grapple and then just tell you I'm trying to submit them and then would do a roll? Is that it?
Yeah, so I don't want to run potentially at 20 full combats for everyone here who's in different things. So here's the system for how this is going to work. You're going to tell me ahead of time if you have a strategy or a plan, or if you're just going to go in and brawl. This is true for everyone um, who's going to be competing in this. Then once you get in, you're going to make 3 d20 rolls based on what your strategy is. So for you, it's probably going to be d20 plus strength, right? Because you're probably going to be grappling or punching. If you want to rage before that, you can do that and tell me. And I'm going to use those 3 rolls, and I'm going to use opposed rolls for 3 rolls from your your opponent. And that's gonna be it.
For the whole tournament?
No, for each fight.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
And let me bring up our little friends again, because they are pretty cute. Again, it's the one on the left.
What is that? Just like a pauldron on his shoulder, like protecting his neck?
Yeah, he's got, well, no, he's wearing, his brother's wearing pauldrons. He's wearing a sort of collar almost.
Okay. It's not just a beard. He's wearing like a collar.
No, he is wearing like a thin plate of metal collar.
And they're related.
They're brothers, yeah.
And they're 7 feet tall. Okay. So he's like a
Ish.
foot taller than me. A little more than that.
Yeah, like almost 2 feet taller than you, right? Aren't you just over 5 foot?
No, I'm like 6 foot tall. I'm a huge dwarf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I am 6 feet tall.
I think he's that. Look, I'm gonna look at your thing. I think it was like 5'8" or something. But yeah, you're a very tall dwarf. He's whatever. He's a foot and a half, foot to a foot and a half taller than you.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get in there.
You said it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking rage, and you know, I I think with him, I'm gonna have to obviously stay in close. I do have my. So what I would do is because I have. Oh, what's it called? My like I can use my spike armor if right like the what's it called here? We haven't fought in a while. Like I have an armor spike attack. I don't know if that's going to be illegal because it's not a
Yeah,
weapon. It's just
it's on your helmet, right? You can't bring it in.
uh no, it's just while I'm wearing spiked armor and raging, I can use a bonus action to make a melee. Well, I guess it says weapon attack, so I guess they wouldn't allow me to do it. I was just gonna say I would use that if I got grappled to try to get out of it.
I'm gonna keep my air conditioning on, but I'm gonna keep my headset on. So
Yeah, so I'm sort of buttering myself up prior to my fight, and I'm gonna try to get in close. I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna get in close, and I am just gonna beat the shit out of his ribs. Um, and then when he bends over, I will kind of headbutt him in the chin as he's gonna have to reach down to grab me. I need to obviously can't get into a boxing match with this guy. Um, if I have to, I am fairly dexterous. I've got decent acrobatics. If I gotta dive through, or I've got good athletics. I have to dive through some legs and trip him up. I can do that, but it's gonna be in tight, and just looking to, you know, just pound the shit out of him.
okay.
Um, how how well are his fucking pants tied on there?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, I didn't know he was wearing his fucking pants.
It's
All
hard to tell.
pants
He is
are
definitely.
fucking
First of
pants.
all, those are definitely his fucking pants. Let's start
So,
there.
so the other thing is if I can get in,
To
um,
his fucking pants.
if I could get in close, I do have very good sleight of hand. I will do my best to just pull those fucking pants down around his knees so he can't move as well. I'm just trying to get him tripped up. If it comes to that, it's not obviously my number one thing, but
So
I am.
you're gonna be brawling more than grappling, correct?
Yes, but in tight. If I have to grapple, I will. It'd be the same, right? It'd be the same strength, like you said. I'm doing strength anyway.
Yeah.
Uh,
All
so,
right.
so you need 3d20 rolls. You said
I do indeed.
So here is one. Ooh.
Can I share the
So
history of this?
there's a 7
Okay.
with my strength. There's a 13. And there is a 22.
Okay. You know what? I want to make it 5 d20s, just to make it
Okay,
more, just to make it a little more, a little less luck based.
gotcha. I'm gonna
That what?
I can just roll strength then.
Because the modifiers are going to even out more the more you roll.
Right.
If you have a +10 and I have a +2, the more you roll the d20 and add your modifier, the more it's going to even out your chances of getting lucky or not lucky.
So and then an 8, and then so 4, 10, 19, 8, and 16.
Okay.
Not great.
All right.
Oh wait, hold on. But if I was raged, or aren't you?
Yeah, I
No.
took that. I took that into account.
Okay. Because it's
I,
it'd be +2. Oh, okay, never mind. It's not on attacks. It's just damage.
yeah. Okay. Here's how the fight goes. Zerwin comes out and kind of barrel charges him. He just rushes right at him and actually catches him totally by surprise. In fact, what'd you roll the first one?
A 4.
Yeah, yeah. He rolled a 1, and that made you guys tie in shittiness. But his critical failure means that he got the worst of it. So you ran directly into him, and you were both so surprised that he didn't even launch a defense that you both fell directly backwards and you landed on top of him, which is really good that he didn't land on top of you because he's really huge. Um, but there's like like it's a confusing tangle at first. You're both like, "What the fuck just happened?" And you're like throwing elbows and like trying to hit and like hitting the ground and like not being super effective. And the second you rolled a what again?
10.
Yeah. Um, when he sort of gets back around to it, like gets his bearings, he does start like like rabbit punching you, like in the back of the head as you're like staying in tight and like trying to break his ribs, and he lands a bunch of like just fucking head ringing shots, and it's not going well for you. But the third round you rolled a
19.
yeah, um, it gets like as he's hammering the back of your head, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna pass out." Um, you sort of like move one of the times, and he smashes himself in the sternum. And not only that, but you are able to grab his wrist. And when you grab his wrist, the force of his arm breaks his wrist. You can hear it snap on his left hand, and you think he might have been left-handed. He had 2 critical failures that time, and he's like just a bellowing howl of pain. And then once you like sort of have his arm trapped, you like scoot up and like start hammering him in the side of the face. But your fourth roll was a
8.
yeah. He manages to like turn his head on the second swing that you throw, and as you do that, like it rebounds off his forehead, and you break all your knuckles in your left hand. You hear them all shatter, or you feel them all shatter at once. Um, and then he headbutts you directly in the chin and launches you backwards. And then would you roll for your final one?
16.
As he like leaps to his feet, and it looks like he's gonna just jump on you with his right hand and just like smash your face in. Um, you you manage to like come to just as he's like barreling down on you. You roll out of the way, right? You bring your good hand, your right hand around, and you smash the back of his head, which then pounds into the ground. And you didn't see it, but there was some sort of like flat stone that happened to be half buried, that when you landed on it, you dug it up, and his face smashes against the stone, and he goes limp. And you somehow miraculously escaped your first battle as the victor. You have broken all of the bones in your left hand. You have a completely ruined face from a headbutt, um, but you managed to walk off, and there are healers waiting on the sidelines to heal you. By the way, the crowd loved that fight. They went ballistic. That was like everything they wanted. It was two big dummies like rolling around, beating the shit out of each other. There was blood, there was broken bones. People are going bonkers. Um, and they're, they announced your name, but no one seems to have remembered it. And they they they're calling you the purple-haired dwarf. Purple-haired dwarf, purple-haired dwarf, purple-haired dwarf. And the crowd goes wild.
Cool.
You now have 3 hours between now and when the second round starts, which is the first round of the casters competition. That's you, Ezra.
Hot damn.
Do I need to mark off my rages here, or am I getting short rests? Like, am I getting rests in between them?
You're getting short rests in between. Actually, you're gonna it's only one round a day. You get a long rest between.
All right, so I'm not even going to mark one. Well, I'll mark it off in case we have to do something afterwards.
Yes, you need to mark it off in case something else happens between rounds.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So the group has 3 hours. If they want to stay and watch the rest of the melee round, they can. You have time. You can go do other stuff. Ezra, you can go. Your brackets are up also, if you want to go look at them.
Yeah.
Zerwin's going to watch the other fights just to see if he can get some insight into the people who are winning.
Sure.
Zerwin,
Yeah.
are you done with that butter?
Huh? Yeah, but I wouldn't eat it if I were you.
No, I
I
would.
toss you my melted stick of butter,
Well,
which probably just splatters on your hand when you
yeah,
touch
it's
it.
probably flammable. I probably don't want to butter myself up in case I'm fighting a fire mage.
It gets you a nice little, crisp.
All right. Zerwin, here are the other victors. I have all their photos. I'm not going to put them all up now because it will bog down the stream.
Well, you can give it to me later. Are we doing the whole tournament tonight?
No, I'm just going to describe to you the victors of the rounds. So there's essentially, you know, we know this as a sumo wrestler, but your character would just see like an enormous man who is as
Gotcha.
wide as he is tall and seems to be like has like funky top knot hair and like a weird loincloth you don't recognize. Um, then there is a man with black skin, but I don't mean like black in the sense of like a black person in America. I mean like his skin is charcoal. You're not sure what kind of creature he is, but he looks like he was crafted from the remnants of a fire, and he has all these crazy gold tattoos all over him. Um, he won, and he was. It looked like he killed the person he was fighting. Um, there was the monk guy that I described to you earlier. Then there was, oh, this guy. Um, there is, so actually, I'm going to pull this guy's picture up and I want you all to roll for it. I want you all to roll perception.
8.
20.
15.
Gosh, you know what? Perception might not be the right roll.
15.
I'll take those rolls though.
Insight?
Dirk, yeah, it's more of an insight memory thing, but that's okay. Dirk, you absolutely recognize this dude. He was one of the um he's one of the soldiers that you saw back in Kryn.
But which group of soldiers from Wonder?
No, I mean he was at Wonder during the battle. He was one of the free people.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Dude, you
yeah,
guys,
that's out of game. I didn't recognize it anyway.
you guys. That guy was In Crane, he was one of the free people, that guy. What's he doing here?
When
I
he,
think he's probably fighting in the tournament.
yeah, he's absolutely fine.
Oh, you're being a real fucking smartass.
Once again, you were right, Dirk.
Hey, multiple times tonight.
Yeah, when he wins, you hear him like speak, and you're like, oh, yep, that's definitely the Free People's accent. And he walks directly off. By the way, he refused, like, he has all these bruises after the fight. He refuses to get healed by the healers. And then he walks directly over to either to if Zerwin, if you're still down in the competitors area, to you, or up to your booth to
Yeah,
talk to you guys.
I'm still down there. It's a
Ah,
better view.
I remember you, purple-haired dwarf man. You were like general with crown. Ha ha! He slaps you on the back with his enormous hand.
Hey, good to see you again. How the hell did you get here?
How the hell did you get here? That's a long way. I came
No,
on ship.
on ship.
Yeah,
This is a different plane.
yes. Ship run by fairies.
Oh wow. Well, it's good to see you. I hope you do well. Let me tell you something
Likewise.
though. I'm gonna kick your ass.
No fucking way. I will smash you like bug, little man. We should have a drink tonight.
Yes, let's. Well, I'm in for that.
We need to catch up. I have stories to tell you.
Excellent.
All right. He slaps you on the back and makes his disappearance.
The list of things that we wanted to try to do today included.
Hold on just 1 second. There are more winners I have to tell him about.
Uh,
There's also what looks like a walking tree wins.
Does it have arms?
It has arms and legs. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fairly terrifying
Like a
ambulatory
like a
experience.
looks like Groot,
Sort of.
but one trunk, not wrapped around
No,
branches.
it looks much more like a person than Groot. It looks like
Oh,
a
okay.
person that was melded with a tree.
Okay.
And then there is another Loxodon.
Okay.
Um, and that those are the victors. So yeah.
The guy's brother didn't win. The guy I fought.
No, the guy's brother lost. They both lost in the first round. I actually rolled a bunch of these battles today. It didn't take me long. It was kind of fun.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, Ezra. Please go ahead.
the other things that we talked about trying to do today would be trying to find Irtha, trying to find, going to talk to Akgung to try to pick at the scabs of the underbelly of the city of the Joram, and arranging a meeting with Veneth Gata at Magnus Keep. Those are the other things. I'm fine putting them off so that we can get to my little fight because I'm anxious.
I mean, we don't want to be late for your fight.
You got 3 hours. You could do something else in between if you'd like. I'm just giving you the option. Zurin wants to stay and watch, so whatever you do, he won't be joining you. If you want to do anything at all.
We know where Irtha's school is, correct?
Won't
Yes, but you.
everyone be at the tournament right now?
Well, I know that the school's closed. Is the school going to be closed for 2 weeks? I was thinking of like leaving a note um that we're staying with Chuckles. That way she knows where she can find us because she was looking for us at the Bard's Cobbler. That would be an easy way of moving in the direction of having a conversation with that person without having to hunt her down.
The other way is we could see if Lady Linda has a seat and if Eartha's near there.
That's a good idea too. That's better than my idea.
It is better than your idea, and you can just ask Skip, and Skip will tell you that Linda absolutely has a seat.
Looking around, do we see her?
Yeah, she's in one of the booths on the opposite side that you are, but you can get over there.
Okay.
Maybe let's go.
Let's bring Zerwin with us.
You can't.
Why not?
Because because Zerwin is down
I'm
watching
watching the fights.
the fights.
Oh, I thought you were coming back to watch the fights with us instead of your new friends.
Mhm.
Not that I'm jealous.
Dirk can
Or-
go with you. Look at how
Yeah,
happy Dirk is to go.
Dirk
I'll
and
go.
Jana, you guys want Gelidus, Owen? Gosh, you're quiet today.
No, yeah, they'll go absolutely. Um, so the same guard that you saw when you went to her house is one of 3 guards that she has. One outside the door and 2 inside her area. By the way, her area looks exactly like Skip's does. It's the same setup all the way around on the very top. It's got the canvas over the head, right? It's got the tables and couches and lounges things and little railing, stone railing. She allows you to enter. She is not by herself, and I was not expecting you to meet
Well,
this character tonight.
thank you for the compliment, Bill. You need to be ready for the unexpected with us because we're full of surprises. Got a mind like a labyrinth. That's
This
the
man
guard.
is sitting with her. Nope, this man is sitting with her.
Is that Camus?
Oh, that's probably her great nephew. The one that she Ezra whispers this to the group, the one that she doesn't like.
She's not sitting with him so much as he is sharing, like, she's on the big couch and he's way over in a chair pushed up against the railing, screaming and yelling and like berating servants as they fail to bring him things fast enough. It's probably noon and he's definitely drunk.
Asshole.
I'm gonna ignore him and look to the guard to make sure it's okay to speak with Lady Linda.
She waves you in. Please sit.
Lady Linda, how lovely to see you on this glorious summer day, the opening ceremonies and the first rounds of combat. How
Hmm.
are you?
Well, it's not too hot, so I think I'm well. How are you?
We're also doing well. You may have seen that our colleague Zerwin just won his first round here in the unarmed combat.
Yes, there was quite a lot of fanfare around that victory. Congratulations to him.
Uh, have you been able to take a look at the package that we provided for you?
No, I have not, because I
All
have
right.
not yet determined how to safely unwrap it.
All right.
That will be my first task.
We had heard that your great niece Irtha had asked around for us at the Bard's Cobbler as we had been previously asking for her, and we don't know, given that there's no school today, we don't know how to find her or make contact with her. We were wondering if you might be able to help us out.
Yes, Kian told me that she has decided to do a little business during the games where she'll be watching children. Parents want to come here without their children sometimes, so she'll be making a little extra coin for herself by. I don't think she cares for the games that much, to be honest with you. For that matter, neither do I. I'm here for appearances only. I find it quite boring. Except for the casting. The sorcery interests me.
Well, if only we knew somebody competing in that particular game.
If only.
Did you notice the fireball at the beginning of the games seemed rather, you know, ominously large, maybe larger than one might expect it to be.
Yes, I fear Alvinius had a little spike of the wild magic, didn't he?
Right, but I know him a little and that's not really in his repertoire to, the association with the wild magic.
Well, to begin with, I suspect that Alvinius has many surprises up his sleeves, but you're right on this account. No, I don't think Alvinius expected it either.
All right.
Nearly took his own eyebrows off, didn't he? Would have been quite a spectacle if you had killed a dozen people in the crowd before the game even started.
Might have been made it interesting enough for you even.
Oh, I don't revel in the deaths of innocents.
Me neither. Can I make an insight check to see if she does revel in the deaths of innocence?
Sure.
Come on, getting these rolls out of the way now. 10.
You don't think so?
All right. Thank you.
That's a
We'll
good.
be
It's a great check though. Of all the things you just checked, that's probably my favorite check of the night so far. I
good.
kind of wish you'd rolled a 1.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I'm here for you, Bill. Um. All right. Thank you so much, Lady Linda. Always a pleasure to speak with you. We'll be off to try to meet with your great niece.
You'd probably want to know where that is.
Well, I was just gonna listen for the laughter of children and follow that. But if you know and you don't mind sharing,
No, I think I'd like to watch you listen for the laughter of children. Are you going to do that outside my door or inside?
I mean, I would have to start here to at least get a baseline.
It's if you go down the oh shit, hold on. I forgot the name of it. Dunminster, near closest to the wall. It's a large house.
Thank you.
You're
Where's
welcome.
it? Up here?
It's
North.
south.
Oh, Dunminster. Sorry. Gotcha.
Do we have time to get out there and back?
Yeah, it's this house right here.
Wow, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, people who leave their kids with other people want them to be close by, typically speaking, but not always.
Doesn't sound like my parenting style. I don't have kids. Stream.
I have too many.
Hmm.
All right. How did other than Zerwin, who's going to stay and watch the fight? Everyone want to go try to meet with Eartha real quick?
Yes.
Uh, Bill, is there beer like in the staging area?
No,
Or
there
can
is
I
not.
can I
And
get it delivered there?
no, there is a sign that says alcohol prohibited in competition area.
Mm, okay.
Um, it's not hard to find the house. A, because you were given basic directions to it. B, because it is one of the only ones stuck to the wall over here. And C, because it has the sounds of children screaming and you know, joy or pain, maybe both, as you approach.
Knock on the door.
A slightly flustered but beautiful young woman appears to answer. Hello. There's
I
probably 30 to 40 kids, and it looks like she's alone.
Oh boy. Hello, yes, my name is Ezra. These are my colleagues, the spicy oranges. Might you be Miss Eartha?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I am. Jonas, you stop that right now. Yes, I am.
We had heard that you were looking for us at the Bard's Cobbler last night after your self-hearing
There
that
is
we
like a
had been looking for
two-year-old
you.
that walks over and like starts clinging to her leg, but then he walks over and blows his nose on your pants, Ezra, as you're talking.
That's a good lad. Uh, Wait, on my pants, and he's 2. Yeah, I guess it might even be my shirt, given my size. Um, that's a good lad. Thank you for that. Thank goodness I'll have a change of outfit before the fight. Would you be
A
available
wooden
to meet?
sword flies in and it's like smacks like a boudoir behind you. It makes a really loud noise, and she turns around and she's like, "Timothy, time out right now. No, I told you not to throw the sword. I told you not to throw the sword. It's time out. Time out." I'm sorry. What's
Would
that?
you be available to meet this evening, maybe? After uh, you've had time to guide the youth of
I'm
tomorrow?
sorry, sir. Are you asking me out on a date?
No, I was hoping that we could meet as a group. We were hoping to learn more about
You want me to
the,
bring the children to a place where they serve booze?
sorry, you and my colleagues and
Ah,
myself.
yes. Hello, everyone. The spicy
Right.
oranges, I presume. Will they serve booze at wherever it is that you want to meet?
I was thinking of the Bard's Cobbler, and they do serve alcohol there.
I will be there.
All right, we'll
Can't
see you
say
this
I will
evening.
last long, but I'll see you there.
Thank you, and good
Janice?
luck.
What did I say about those scissors? She shuts the door behind her and it locks. You all
All right.
think that you are battling in the arena, but she's the real one battling in the arena right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of kids. Just put a movie on. It's not that hard.
Fair enough.
Uh, can I go look at the list of fighters and try to glean who I'm fighting against so that I can finalize my battle plan?
You can try.
Fireball.
You are matched up against someone named Tony Wolf.
What a name.
It's from
Thanks.
South. It's from South Jersey.
Thanks, random name generator. That was the best one.
Looking around, how many people are here in the, you know, the waiting area for the casters?
Um, you know, close to 30, I guess, is how many are total.
And nobody's wearing name tags.
No, much like yourself.
Uh, so Ezra looks across the vast room filled with 30 people and calls out, "Hey, Tony! Tony Wolf!"
Uh, keep in mind there are two rooms, right? There's two locker rooms. No one seems to um no one seems to notice you at first, but then a oh, you know what? I've pictured this person too.
So it did. Am I back with the group now? Like, is it the same area that we were using?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have retreated back to the stands.
Tony, the guy with the fire in his hands.
I stopped by and get a beer on the way though.
This person comes up to you. Are you looking for Tony?
I am.
He's in the next room.
Thank you.
He's kind of an asshole. It's hard to miss.
Well, I mean, people have levied that term at me myself, so it's I understand. I'm Ezra. Ezra holds out his hand to shake.
Hi. Uh, L.
Good to meet you, El.
Likewise.
Who are you pitted up against?
I don't want to know until I'm out there.
All right, well, good luck.
And to you.
Hopefully, I'll see you in another round later on.
Oh, please don't lose to Tony. He's an asshole.
I'll do my best. Thanks for the pressure. Ezra goes into the next room, and how many people are in the next room?
You know, about the same. Um,
Ezra looks out over the room filled with 30 people or so and says, "Hey, Tony! Tony Wolf!"
a short brown-haired man wearing, too many straps and buckles that are really unnecessary. Um, and
No, that's perfect.
a big kind of heavy cloak despite the summer day.
You should
Um,
cast Titan Buckle.
he is
Mass Titan Buckle. Sorry.
he has like one of the like workers for the tournament, like a youngish woman. He's like got his arm up against the wall and he's like leaning over and he's like, so when I won my first regional tournament, I was only 16. That was 10 years ago now, but it's been up and up since then.
Oh
should
man,
have
he
won
sounds like
last
a
time.
sorcerer.
I should have won last time, but I was cheated. Uh, Everyone knew it that saw it. It was a basic. And then you like scream his name, and he like eye roll annoyed turns. Yes.
Ezra walks up to him and says, wait, it's afternoon at this point. Good afternoon. My name's Ezra. You and I are matched up in the first round. I just wanted to get a chance to meet you." Ezra holds out his hand. "I'm sorry to interrupt. Very rude of me."
You wanted to meet me?
"I did.
Why?
It seemed polite."
I'm gonna go out there and burn you to a fucking crisp, Ezra.
"I'm excited to see it."
Well, it's not personal, so best of luck
"No,
to
it
you.
doesn't sound like it is at all." Ezra turns and walks away. All right. Based on getting a look at him, can I try to glean what casting class he is? I'm kind of getting the impression that he's a sorcerer.
I don't know how you would tell that, but like what
He
would
didn't he didn't have a spell book.
he did not
He's
have a
not an
physical
old
spell book.
man.
He's not an old man.
Doesn't have a big long white beard, like a hat with a like a tube that goes out behind the hat.
All those
No
things are true.
All
bushy
right.
white beard.
He's taught. Did I notice? I mean, one of the things about draconic sorcerers is they have like a kind of sheen of dragon scales. Did I notice anything like that?
You did not.
Okay, I'm satisfied. Ready for the fight.
Okay. Do you have any strategy you want to use going into this fight?
Can I double check with the staff or if there are posted rules? My understanding is it's essentially no holds barred. In like just whatever spells I want to use, I can use. Concentration spells won't get blown away at the end of a round. Things like that.
Yeah, no, there's no rules. The only rules are that you can't teleport someone to another plane. You can't teleport someone outside of the arena is the only rule. Um, in fact, the casters can even use weapons. Not that they ever do.
Right. Okay. I will be sure to turn in my clothing and my gear and obtain the spell components that I need for my spells.
Easily done. There is someone there who's like has like is casting some sort of magic and like scanning people as they enter. You're not
Mm.
sure what it is, but you're pretty sure it's like, are they going in with a bunch of spells loaded on them already? And if so, we're gonna catch them. Um, but other than that, you're allowed in.
Oh, yeah. So, and I don't have my vial then.
You do
Let me
not.
make sure I deactivate that. Da. Okay.
So
I, I'll bring a quarterstaff in.
okay,
Where's your Slurpee book? Is it like in the suite with us?
yes.
Yeah, I'll leave it with you guys. I
I
leave
do
my
not
pack
like
with.
that thing.
I'll leave it with Galladus. No, I'll leave it with Owen. Yeah, I don't like Galladus's pockets, seeing if they can fit that book inside them.
So yeah. Actually, you know what, Zerwin? Since you asked, you see Ezra leave the book, and you see like he puts it down on the table next to Owen, and as soon as Ezra walks like out of the room, that book disappears.
Cool. Real cool. uh,
I look at Owen the pleasurable, and I kind of nod over at the bag. He's got nothing to say,
Ye,
apparently.
ye gods.
That's
yep.
pretty good.
Sounds like Owen.
I'm continuing to drink since I'm done fighting.
Fair enough. All right, Ezra. Strategy before we just roll into this bad boy.
Yeah. My strategy is I am going to first cast a cantrip as my action. I'm going to do Sorcerous Burst as a fire spell. And then I'm going to spend a sorcery point to give myself resistance to fire damage for 1 hour as a part of that. After I do that, I'm going to quicken a hypnotic pattern as a bonus action. And that'll be my first round. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, in theory, you get 5 rounds.
Okay, so the next round, I would hit him with Arcane. Do I want to do that? I'll hit him with. I guess I would summon Big B's hand, depending on whether or not I knock him out with Hypnotic Pattern. Yeah, and then the round after that, I would move on to Arcane Eruptions, which is a version of Fireball that I get to pick the damage type, and I also like if I roll certain things, certain effects happen if he fails the save.
Okay. Make your rolls. 5d20 plus your charisma modifier for you, right?
Yeah, are these considered ability checks?
Nope, they're considered d20 rolls with your charisma
Okay.
modifier added to them.
So you could just roll that charisma thing, right? On D&D Beyond, just roll your charisma.
Yeah, I didn't roll great. Let me give me a second to look at the rolls. So I rolled. Let's see. That would have been.
You did not roll great. Holy shit.
No, I'm gonna spend Danger Awesome points to re-roll. Does that mean I can re-roll multiple or just one?
It's a really good question. I'll let you re-roll. How many danger points are you gonna spend?
I mean, it depends on how many I was gonna re-roll. I want to re-roll. I'll say the two lowest, which is the 9 and the 4. I'll keep, so then it's two 16s and an 18 are the other two rolls.
So just 2 rolls?
Yeah.
All right, just give me tell you what, I'll give you a discount today. 5 danger awesome points for those 2 rolls.
Thanks.
And now I'm gonna
17.
post in chat what he rolled since you've done this already.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
He rolled a
That's
3,
a
a
lot better.
3, a 5, a 5, and a 9
Okay.
total. I
Yeah.
never share my rolls, but I was like, oh, Ezra's gonna spend danger awesome points on this, and he doesn't need to.
Um,
It's better to do it and have
hey,
not needed it. Better to
so
have it and not need it than
Need it, not
need
have
it
it.
and not have it.
former
I ended up
champions,
rolling a lot better.
former champions don't compete again, right? Like Chuckles isn't competing, is he?
Chuckles is not competing, but there's no rule against former champions not competing.
Are anybody in that parade? Like, are the two, the elf and the tree lady? No, okay, they're not competing.
Nope.
Got it.
All right, so he had critical failures on his first 2 rounds. So I believe the first thing you did was hit him with fire, which singes him quite badly as he botches his return volley. And the second thing was hypnosis, right?
Yeah, so because of I can use my meta magic, I can cast a cantrip and a leveled spell a turn.
I don't
So
actually care. So
yeah,
whatever the
I
hypnosis was, like fired and like it hit. And so he basically just collapses.
yeah, he's incapacitated. He's charmed by me and incapacitated until I damage him again. The next round I summon Big D's hand and it like punches him into the ground, essentially.
Yeah, he just gets completely he doesn't succeed once. You completely destroy and humiliate, like it doesn't even go the full 5 rounds. Like he's out by the end of the 3rd round. and they pull his like literal squashed smoking corpse off the side and revive him. He looks
Cool.
none too pleased, and you walk away unscathed. One quick
Feel-
question: do you summon any butterflies, or
I didn't do any magic missiles. I did one hypnotic pattern and one Big B's hand. The hand does it's the spectral hand that's green with like kind of whitish yellow
Butterflies.
speckles all over it. And I do call it by name, and its name again is Sir Hieronymus Reed Wallow Jr.
I've forgotten about Sir Hieronymus Reedwallow Jr.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a note about him at some point in the near future.
Yeah, please do. I don't want to forget about Sir Hieronymus Reedwallow Jr. ever again. I want to think about Sir Hieronymus
Well,
Reedwallow
the note would
Jr.
be
in
about
my sleep.
Sir Hieronymus Reed Wallow Sr.
Oh, well, in that case, I don't want to read it at all.
All
Fuck
right.
that guy. All right, like somehow you both won, mostly because I rolled like shit. I wouldn't count on that happening too many more times.
I'm throwing beer from our like off of the front of our balcony. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, somehow you two also ended up, well, it's ended up being probably the most popular fights of the day. Um, Mostly because everyone hates Tony Wolf and really wanted to see him lose. And when like a little guy came out and just not only beat him, but completely fucking embarrassed him in front of 10,000 people, everyone felt better at the end. Um, except for Tony Wolf. You've made yourself an enemy for life on this one, Ezra. So
I mean,
be prepared for that guy. Um, and Zerwin's was one of the best, definitely top 3 best melee matches of the day because it was just a like crazy bloodbath. Um, so yeah, you guys have made really good impressions. You're gonna have some social capital to spend. Um, you know that the games tomorrow will include the archery and the melee. Um, all right. Uh, that's it. You can stay and watch the rest of them if you'd like, and I can tell you who some of the victors are if you're interested.
I am uh yeah, I'm interested in kind of seeing again. I am gonna try to make notes of the different kinds of spellcasters and what their abilities are.
Um, okay, so
Smart.
there is there's a creepy old dude who wins. There's slightly more casters than there is brawlers and grapplers, by the way. Um, the oh, the what would you know her as? The fox woman from the bar. She won. Um, she turned invisible and then like smoked people from distance.
Oh, that's gonna be bad.
L, who you spoke with beforehand, was victorious.
I'm guessing maybe some illusion magic from L.
Oh my god, I have so many of these things open.
I really appreciate the note that it's just some creepy old dude won. That's helpful.
I don't like that dude. I
He's
don't like
creepy.
that dude.
I have to close all these photos of all of the melee people who won to get to the casters. Okay, a young, uh, bright red-haired young human woman used a lot of fire. Yeah, L made the entire stadium dark.
That's bad too.
Sure, people did not like that fight.
They booed. They literally booed. They literally booed L when L won. Um, but L, they don't. When L won and was booed, they didn't seem to care at all. They took a bow and walked off without a word.
Good for Elle.
Yeah. There was also a shaved head, glowy, blue-eyed human. Um, impossible that covers the bottom half of their face with like some sort of like scarf thing. That person levitated and also had some sort of earth magic. They won. Terrifying, um, no pupiled old man with like really crazy unkempt hair.
This is different than the creepy old man.
Yes.
That guy's probably a wizard.
Then this like bumbling like this like frizzy white-haired half-bald unkempt stumbling like nimwit with like a staff that had feathers on it and like this kind of really crazy air about him, like kind of like wandered in like he was lost and then like somehow walked away from the battle when the other person didn't. um Also human.
Cool.
There's more. There's a lot more casters. A I'm gonna say early 60s, late 50s, early 60s, human woman. She has a reputation. Um, she dominated her match. She apparently has competed before and took second. Then this like complete and utter goofball. He looks like he's about 25, but he's an elf, so it's hard to tell. And he's an elf with a red beard and an absurd hat with an absurd feather, and like an absurd staff. He walked in with a lot of nature magic and did quite well, well enough to win. And another kitsune, or sorry, another fox person. This one you think is male? Question mark. He looks like a very much like a red fox. And I feel like there's one I'm missing, but I can't remember who it is now. So that's all of them I can remember right now.
Cool. Thank
Oh
you.
no, there's the sorry. There's at least two more. There's a like real quiet, um, tall, dreadlocked, um, islander type with like some sort of strange like ball that he brought in his hands. And then there was oh, how could I forget this one? You're not sure if he's human, but there was a man who walked in completely naked, covered in tattoos, extremely pale, and that's all of them.
Thanks for your patience, everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of casters. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
And the next round will be tomorrow or in a few days
Yeah,
or
2 days because
2 days.
tomorrow is the first round of archery and melee.
Okay.
Is Dirk doing melee or is Owen doing melee?
I think Owen is because I think Dirk wasn't here for the session when you were sponsored.
And
Oh,
Jan
right.
is doing archery.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she made that apple fall in what's his name's lap. It's pretty impressive.
All right, we can end there. It's about time. But because I like to always end you with a nibble of what's to come, Um, the games end fairly late, like 7 p.m. ish. The days are quite long, so it's you still have several hours before dark. But as everyone's sort of filing out, um, someone comes up to like some servants comes up to Skip and like whispers something in his ear, and he like jumps up and he's like, "All right, come on, hurry with me, come with me." And he leads you out and down the hallway and around to the sort of like seat, if you will, of the place where Alvinius was. And there you find Glocta has evicted everyone from the back room, and Alvinius is unconscious, laid out on a couch, with Glocta sort of hovering over him and like motioning for you all to come in and sort of pointing at him in obvious distress. And
All right.
that's where we'll end it today. Um, I'm going to do a couple things. First of all, I'm going to ask you to give each other Danger Awesome points, and because we're missing 2 people tonight, I'm going to give out a Danger Awesome point, and I'm going to ask our viewers to award someone a Danger Awesome point. If you are in chat right now and you think someone who played tonight deserves a Danger Awesome point, please say who you think should get it in chat.
I'm going to give mine to Ezra for actually having a legitimate strategy going into his fight. I mean, the rolling was so bad from his opponent, but seemed like it was a good strategy anyway. So well
Thank
done
you.
there.
I'll give mine to Zerwin for breaking that guy's wrist.
That was good.
Mine goes to Zerwin.
I'm gonna give mine to Jana for helping with the notes tonight. That was very helpful. Thank you.
Nice. Dual note taking. Um, I'm going to give one to Dirk because Dirk made like almost every roll tonight.
Yeah.
And also showed remarkable restraint after I threatened him with an NPC not to break into people's heads anymore. And I know he was tempted to several times, probably. Um, so you get a Danger Awesome point. And the crowd has awarded one to Ezra. And by the crowd, I mean the real Foxy Proxy,
Thank you,
who's
Foxy.
who's the real deal. I have to also announce that I have these things that I need to mail out, and I haven't told. I don't think I even told you this, Jana, even though you live near me. The mail doesn't come to my house anymore. The post office literally decided that we don't deserve mail anymore, nor do we get our mail picked up, because they're like apparently the U.S. Post Office is like failing, um, where neither what is it? Neither wind nor rain nor snow. Um, but there's no drivers, I guess. They're really short on workers, so I have been trying to mail these things out for a week, and nobody like I just went to check it, and the envelope is still there, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna try this again this week to mail out the prizes that people won. Um, uh, I will get them mailed out. I 100% promise. I do not control the post office, but I will. There are people who watched who deserve these prizes. Um, Speaking of which, before we end, is anybody here tonight for a raffle? Do we have at least 2 people for a raffle tonight?
There are 3 viewers listed in the stream. I'm one of them.
Yeah, we had 5 at one point. We're down to 3.
Well, the best part was when I first turned it on, it listed it as 0, even though I was watching.
I've decided, I would love feedback on this. I have a couple of really big prizes, right? Like this thing here, this amazing dice tower. And I think I want to make a stream scavenger hunt, where I will ask questions about things that happened in stream. And if you can answer all of them, I will enter you into the raffle and then roll a dice. And then the winner gets it. And I will cap it at 6 people. So your
If we
odds
end
will be
up
1 in
doing
6.
bio breaks. I know that that's really popular with a lot of streams. Is they do like a break halfway through, and if they're gonna do a raffle, they do it at the halfway point.
Yeah, when we start at 8:30 and we only really go for 2.5 hours, but
Yeah.
we don't go for 4.5 hours like the famous streamers do.
Right.
If we did, I would absolutely take a break. No one else, just you, Foxy. Foxy, you deserve prizes, but I'm sending one to you already, so I will wait until there are 2 people here. Unless do you really want 2 of these? If you want 2 of these, you can send me a message. I'll send you 2 of them because you deserve it. All right, that's it. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm gonna stop the stream.